Hey guys, Kyle with Lone Peak here. I want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. Thank you guys so much for your support over the past year. We've built over 500 campers. We're doing some reflecting, and I kind of want to pull back the curtain a little bit as we do and let you guys know some of the lessons that we've learned throughout the camper manufacturing process. One of the things we pride ourselves on here at Lone Peak is that we take raw materials and we make complete campers in this building. So this is the raw extruded acrylic that we use for our rear windows. This is the acrylic that we use for our cab window. All this gets cut on our CNC machine in the house. And we basically route out a profile all around the outside of this that helps with bonding. We're basically treating this like a windshield that we're bonding into the camper. So we're using really similar adhesives to windshields. One of the issues that we had in the first 100 campers is that we actually recessed the acrylic into the aluminum composite panel just slightly. And it's just for a more clean look, and so it can key in. And the gap between the two, between the acrylic and the aluminum composite, was like nothing on the first, because I wanted it to look really good. But the thing I didn't realize is that there is a thermal expansion of acrylic of like 5 to 6%. So it'll basically expand into the acrylic and chip the corners. So we have since fixed this. This was only for like the first 100 units. We've made over 500 now. But just kind of an example of how we're continuously improving the processes to build the camper. One of the other early issues we had with probably about the first 100 campers is we had some of our rear doors pop out of their hinge, which was super bummer when you're on the trail. This thing pops out, the gas struts make it really hard to push back in. We were able to solve that by basically adding a locating pin onto the end cap that keys into the inside of the extrude and basically just retains it and keeps it from popping out. That's been solved for a long time. The most recent batch actually has it on both sides just to make sure the side doors don't pop out, but we've had very little issue with that. Let's move on to the next thing. Another thing that we've changed is the actual inserts that we use for our mounting pucks. They were just our normal T-nuts, and we changed them to a solid aluminum plate. It just has way stronger threading, and it's one entire plate that we put inside of the rail of the camper, and then we mount our mounting pucks to. So this customer came up from LA. He is going back down to Baja immediately after this. He's using an extra set of pucks in the middle to make sure this thing is ultra secure. And with the new mounting puck system, we are super confident that he will have the time of his life down there. All right, we have spent a ton of time on our sealing and fastening of our vent fan and then also our roof together. Let me talk about the vent fan first. We're currently using a caulk called Eternabond. It actually has a primer that comes with it that etches into the roof itself, so you get a really, really good seal. And then for the mechanical bonding, we used to use rivets, but we actually got some cracking in the plastic because it was just too much pressure. So right now we're using a flathead stainless steel bolt along with an O-ring underneath it so that all of these are sealed. We're super confident in this now. It's honestly a great system. For our roof, for the first couple hundred campers, we use something called 3M VHB. It stands for Very High Bond. It's underneath this seal here. They actually use it to mount ambulance bodies to the chassis. They don't actually use bolts, which is kind of crazy. That's how strong this stuff is. We did have some roofs delaminate. This aluminum composite panel actually has a Teflon paint coating on it, which is really hard to bond to. So we scuff it up, we do a bunch of prep, but even with that, we had some leaking primarily from the rear here. And so we started using another 3M product, which is a sealant called 3M 560 in conjunction with the VHB. And we are super confident in this. This stuff sticks and does not come off. It's amazing. So let me actually show you what we're doing to ensure that every camper that comes off the line is 100% waterproof. All right, this is our water testing jig. Every camper that comes off the line gets put underneath this for 15 minutes. And this basically checks all of our work to make sure that everything is perfectly sealed and watertight. All right, this is a more recent addition that we've made. We're adding weep holes to 3 different extrusions on the camper just to make sure that if any water does get inside, it can exit. So the first one here is on the bed rail. It's at the front. It's a 5mm hole. This is on the front of the camper. This is on the main frame rail of the front. This is called the 001. This is what we call the 002 or the roof rail. This is where we added a small little weep hole here, just to make sure these guys stay drained. One of the things that really sets the camper apart is our power system. So you have juice box that does our power switching. You have power plate, which actually generates power either from solar or from DC to DC. And one of the things that we're seeing right now is probably an issue with our charger, that it's basically supplying too high of a voltage to the battery that we're using. When that happens, it has a voltage spike and it turns off juice box. We've seen this a couple times. And so basically what we're asking is a little bit of grace right now as we look into this and really actually diagnose what's happening. If you guys are having any kind of weird power problems, please reach out to us directly. And then Keisha's gonna ask you for basically a video and or screen recordings of the Epoch app. That's the app that actually connects to our battery itself, so we can see what's going on. So this is kind of in the works, and stay tuned to see what the resolution is. All right, guys, it's been a while since I've made a video like this. I hope this is helpful so you can kind of see what we're working on, all the different irons in the fire. Honestly, the goal of this project is that we can build a world-class camper at an affordable price that allows you guys to get out and adventure more. And we're really close. We're so close. This thing is maturing. We've made so many changes that we're not even talking about that just make it better. And the thing is that all of those ideas come from you guys. So reach out to us directly. Let us know what you like, what you don't. Accessories, ideas for the future. We love them. Keep them coming. We'll see you in the mountains.